Yeah. Time to go back to that classic nostalgia. Flash Gordon, played by Sam J. Jones. Best known as the actor that was in both Ted movies. Hell yeah, Flash. Fun fact, there was actually a comic book based off Flash Gordon, an old black and white film of it in the 1940s before we got the 1980s Flash Gordon. Flash Gordon is a great movie. It's so bad and yet so good at all at once of the famous Melody Anderson. Yeah. O.T. Max von Tarboll, Timothy Norton, and Ariel Matito. Oh, and one awesome movie. As this thing works, I get this on Blu-ray to review the movie because it's one of those so-called special Blu-rays. It's gonna be difficult to do this. And not to get copyright, I'm playing that song. The famous Flash Gordon is this hero who lives on the planet Earth, had that New York accent of his beloved essential lady, Dale. Yes, that's her name. He's kind of an interest reporter who's in love with Flash Gordon, being a love interest, and they meet the scientist who's gone mad for power and wants to send Flash Gordon to a strange planet, and they meet the Emperor Ming who wants to cause chaos on the planet Earth. Of his army of strange alpha henchmen. Yep, there's our villain, Ming. Before it was like Jafar from Aladdin, or this guy. Yeah, those creatures with wings are called the Fultons, the ones that fly. In there's ancient Greeks outfits. Against the wars against others. Flash Gordon is the main hero of the story and wants to save their world and Earth. Ming has a granddaughter named Nora.
Flash Gordon, quarterback, New York Jets.
Dale Arden, Your Highness. Live and let live. That's my motto.
My name is Hans Zarkov. I'm a scientist. I kidnapped them here in an effort to save us.
Who's madly in love with Flash Gordon. Flash Gordon is a great fighter, but was no match against Ming's man. And Ming is in love with Dale and wants to become a princess. And wants to rule the entire galaxy. So to our hero, Flash Gordon, of his astounded wit of amazing skills, helps us save the world. The scene where Ming thinks he succeeded killing Flash Gordon. Of neurotoxin and deadly gas.
We're dead.
But luckily, Laura, the daughter of Ming. Ming has a good heart to bring him back with magic
I like you a lot.
like a kiss. He assists.
To the Moonlight Warriors. I want to go honeymoon.
This is him to ride the strange vehicle, while Ming and his lovely henchman turns to erase his memory to make him forget everything. It's just a little bit of backstory of the doctor has a tragic past with someone he loved, was drowned. On the history of war, destruction, and most likely tragic past, and make him his loyal henchman. So Ming has a Flash Gordon has a do those simple past of test, while Hideo stays behind in being a loyal servant to Ming.
It's a soul amplifier. I'm going to sing to Barry and tell him to expect us.
You're kidding. See?
Tell Burden, the guy with the green outfit that looks like Robin Hood, and has an army to take down Ming's man once and for all. This movie's almost like a base of a Star Wars story. See? It was amazing great effects. Some of them are not the best, but some of them are pretty darn good. Everything's like reddish color, like the cherry flavor. I love their outfits that really suit their scenes. It's like this movie came out in 1980. This movie's way older than I am.
Oh, here.
To not show too much. This film really is aggressively wonderful. It has like strange creatures. It has people in costumes, and they're all astonishingly possible. It just screams stunts at 80s style. The way they're dressed up is stupendous. It's glorious. It's, in a word for it, fabulous. It's fantastic.
All I wanted to do is keep it for me.
In other words, it's awesome.
So that's why the man's escaped. I thought you might not remember.
Well, say the wife really failed.
I can't imagine.
And I was going under.
So Dr. Hunt and they'll make their heroic escape.
You can't. See you in
They
three.
get captured by the Voltrans.
Your
So Flash
enemy,
Gordon
you know it yourself.
does his
Being
great
an enemy
training
creature
to
of war
survive the wilderness, especially in the strange fog,
And return the note.
and her
Gordon in disguise.
betraying her father and being horribly tortured against her will. And to let Gordon, Flash Gordon free, that she loves him. The effects still look pretty darn good back in the day. And he tests his wealth and I get bitten by the creature, or if he's worthy. I love this movie very much. That's why Sam J. Jones fits the role playing Flash Gordon. It's so great to see some action going. Unlike nowadays, some movie remakes aren't as good as the original ones. That's why I find Flash Gordon to be a stupendous film to watch. It's actually one of my favorite sci-fi movies of all time. Has Lots of action packs, brilliant cast members. It's the reason why I enjoyed this movie. You very much likely. I watched it like a few times since it is one of my favorite classic 80s films of all time. The film is just a plain and simple story that Flash Gordon is there to save both their worlds from an evil, mad emperor who wants to take over everything. Which reminds me, there was an evil emperor from Uncle Grandpa who acts like Ming, which is a pretty good reference to this movie. It has some of the best soundtracks I ever heard. Fabulous explosions, beautiful foggy effects, and have a pretty awesome villain. That's the reason why I love Flash Gordon. And how they dress up these women in outfits and robes is really something.
Dave, stop! I'm going to the exit in the morning! Fire!
She does tell her the truth that she's not lying to her. And she really wants to.
I never knew what my father was. Until he let Gladys put the forward on me. I believe you, Aura. But I don't trust you. You have Ming's blood in
work
your veins.
together.
You think how... Laura, what with? To try and be a good wife? If he stays our cotton baron? He thought he would. My father has never kept a vow in his life. I can't help that.
Indeed.
Our word is one of the things that make us better than you. The guard will take you to the waiting room. Your George time has come. Follow us.
They do like Chinese outfits in a good way possible. Luckily, Flash Gordon has amazing friends who assist him in the war battles. That's the reason why I enjoyed this film. I think I did see this when I was younger, or as a kid. Have Flash Gordon save the day and do all the action-packed adventures. This movie is totally worth watching. And if you love amazing effects back in the day, this will be one of your favorites to put on the side of the shelves. Well, not giving too much away. You have to see the movie all to yourself. So I say this is a pretty good movie. That's why I love the soundtrack. I love all the cast members. I love everything about this film being practical effects looking this good back in the day. And there's not really much else to say about this film. That's all I can say about this film. It's some of it is so bad and yet so good in the most possible way. Also, this movie does end in the most cliche possible, having a question mark, the end. Like they were playing a sequel, but it never happens. At least we get the movie of him being in the both Ted movies is still worth seeing. If you are a huge Flash Gordon fan, I bet the merchandises of the toys and the movie cost like $20 or $30. This is the reason why I enjoyed this film as much as I would less enjoy remakes nowadays. So I give Flash Gordon in being half as bad and yet half as good a solid 7 out of 10. No, 8.1 out of 10 of being a great film. I love it. Who doesn't like sci-fi action movies? So there's one way to end this movie by doing the good old freeze frame jump scene. So they all live happily ever after. Or do they? Yes, they do, because I never make a part 2. See ya.